All right, real quick, let's go over my Milwaukee tools collection. Now I have M12 and M18 in here. And some of the things that you don't see is I got the heated jacket and the heated vest. I also have the Milwaukee M12 4-bay charger. It's kind of like a power drawer where I store all of my Milwaukee tools, majority of them. I also have a 6-bay M18 charger and some honorable mentions, some fake Milwaukee that you can buy off of eBay. I bought some of the 3.5 amp batteries, kind of the slim profile, and I have not used them enough to do a review on. But if you guys have ever bought the cheap batteries, the cheap Milwaukee batteries off of eBay, let me know in the comments down below how they have held up and if they actually hold up longer than the original OEM ones. But see, this is like a 3.0 and it has that bulky stick out because the batteries are laying this way. Well, these batteries are vertical and I actually prefer these on like my ratchets and other tools. So I bought the 3.5s. They're much cheaper than Milwaukee, but again, I have not used them long enough to do a full-blown review on them. However, I really like to run these in my jackets. So they're pretty nice. You get a lot of power out of them running them in heated gear. Also, a few knockoffs real quick. Got to get them out of the way. Livo Walney heat gun, much cheaper than the Milwaukee heat gun, and it does what it needs to. Probably, I'd say the OEM heat gun is a lot more, it'll heat up quicker and it'll heat up much hotter than these cheap fake ones, but they fit the M18 batteries. Also, same company, Livo Walney. It's got two settings here. Of course, the off button, go left, it's setting 1. To the right, setting 2, much brighter LED. Got them for free just to do a review on. I've already talked about them before. So, here's the collection. I want to talk about my oldest tools first, and that is this set here. I got them with a couple M12 batteries and a charger for $120 or $150 like 6 or 7 years ago. So they've been beat up, they've been my go-tos, and I have not needed to upgrade them. I know it's really tempting to go out and buy new tools and upgrade what you currently have, but these are still strong to this day, and I've used them to repair many small engines and other automotive applications, but they've worked and I've had them and I've never had to replace them. So I probably don't have the original batteries. I kind of upgraded to the 3.0s. I think they came in regular red lithium. Let me see what these are. 16 watt hours, but I think these are what you'd say 1.5s, 1500 milliamp hours, something like that. But again, these have been great and I've never had to do anything to them. Couple XC 3.0 batteries. I got 4 XC 3.0 batteries from eBay for, I don't know how much it was, but it was much cheaper than going to Home Depot. I'm gonna set down the tools I've already talked about kind of over here so you can kind of get a better image. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter, but whatever. I got the M12 tire inflator. This thing is awesome to grab on lawn care routes. Throw this in the back of the truck and you're good to go just in case you run into a flat. You don't even have to grab it in the morning. It's just something that's nice to have all the time in your lawn care trailer or lawn care truck. You never know when you might have a flat in the morning. So run a pretty good battery too, because I've noticed that if you run anything below 3.0, it might just die on you. So get like a 3.0 and above. 6.0 works really well because you can get like, you can inflate a flat and get like 40 PSI into a wheel. Well, I guess it just depends. I guess a truck automotive wheel, you can get a good amount of runtime using a bigger battery. These I just picked up. I recently did a quick unboxing, so I have not used them all that much after that video had been released. These are the straight and angled die grinders, M12 by Milwaukee. I got the other two 3.0 batteries on there. and I got a few nylon bristle brush attachments on them. I also got the boot on the M12 grinder. If you guys know if there is a boot that comes on the straight, y'all let me know. The M12 grease gun, I have not needed to get the M18, but I have seen them, and they kind of caught my interest because they have a speed adjustment on the M18s. The M12s, there's only one speed, so it just pumps. The M18, you can choose your settings. So you might save some time if you're doing large trucks, tractors, heavy duty equipment. We're gonna definitely set this one aside because I gotta show you the Milwaukee radio. This is the kind of one of the originals, not really, but the back, we got a Milwaukee HD 12.0 battery in there. And I use the 12.0 when I'm doing my grinding. I don't really use the 12.0 on an impact, have no reason to, but when you're doing extensive grinding, sanding, use it on the grinder, or just throw it in the radio and it will last to like half a year without having to recharge it. It actually depends on how much you use your radio. We're going to talk about the cutoff tool. Now I've used this a handful of times. I probably own this for good, I'd say 5-6 months. And it's been well for me. This is the original wheel that has came with it. I have not replaced the wheel yet. But also, if you know if this cutoff tool has a boot that's out there, you guys let me know. Part number 2522-20. So 3-inch cutoff tool, works really well. Now I've never used the Milwaukee 1/4-inch ratchets. I have used the 3/8. This is the fuel brushless version. I've also had, but I sold to a buddy of mine, the non-brushless, the originals, the ones with the black heads on them. And those were really nice. Those were really light. These bigger ones are a lot more heavier. So this is part number 2557-20, 3/8 regular speed, regular head, 3/8 ratchet. And this one, 2568-20, 1/4-inch extended high speed ratchet. And what I've noticed is if you do not run anything above 2.0, it won't go as fast. So again, if you run a more powerful battery, it'll give you that high speed action. So I'll have to do a video on that because that's something I've discovered. If you run like the weak 1.5s versus like a 3.5, even the cheaper ones, they work great. Run like a 3.0 or a 6.0 battery in your high speed ratchet, it'll be much faster. Just something that I've noticed. I got a boot on the 3/8 and I got a boot on the 1/4-inch. I wish the boot went all the way and maybe even covered here, but it is what it is right now with these boots. I got a power supply M18. I don't know where I got this from, probably Home Depot, because I don't, the heated stuff that I got never came with M18. It always came with these kind of power supplies. So these were the old power supplies that the heated gear came with. And these ones were really nice. I enjoyed using these M12 power supplies, and I still think they sell them, but they don't come standard in the heated gear. The reason why I like these is because you can recharge your phone, and you can also have the indication light here that'll indicate how much battery is left. The new ones, and again, I got a cheap battery in here because I run this one in my jacket, or not jacket, vest. The new ones, they don't have any buttons or anything, any indications of how much battery you got left. So the only way you'll be able to find out is if you throw this in another tool and check to see how much battery you got. You got 50%, you got 25, you got 100, what do you got? You can't check on this one unless you have a power source, the older ones, that you have to buy secondhand or just individually. So I don't like the way Milwaukee kind of did that, but I guess they have to, you know, make business and create other products in order to make more money. I got the mid-torque 3/8. I think this is the Gen 3, and I got a boot on it. If you're looking for a part number, I don't know if I can get this boot. It's kind of cold, so If you really need a part number, just let me know. But this is the Gen 3 3/8 mid-torque impact, 1/2 inch. Love this thing. I have it on a XC 6.0 high output. Perfect battery, in my opinion, for this impact gun. This is my very first impact gun that I got. This is the 3/8, just standard impact gun, M18, and it's got 3 settings and a reverse setting that you can switch to or switch through. Also with a high output XC 6.0, but I hardly ever use this guy anymore since I got my stubby, but we'll get to that in a minute. I did get a boot on it and it worked really well for lawnmower blades. So just in, I'm gonna keep this around. I can probably go ahead and sell it because it does not get any action at all. It sits in my toolbox, but I don't want to sell it because I like my collection and I also like to have backups. 3/8 stubby. Now this is probably something that is in every Milwaukee collector's toolbox. Whether you do automotive or any other industry, you probably have a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch stubby. Now this is the M12 version. This will take off lawnmower blades. Now I run Toro and Exmark equipment, not Skag, not any other brand. So to remove the nuts off of the decks requires just you going under the deck and putting a socket on the nut. Some of the like Skags and other brands, you have to put a wrench on top of the pulley or some kind of mechanism on top of the deck and then impact them off. I heard those ones are a lot harder to remove. However, this will take off any lawnmower blade, and that's a fact. I mean, this is enough power to remove them. Unless they're like rusted on, then you'll need to get a lot of spray and use a bigger one like the 1/2 inch. So I think I've talked about the cheapo batteries before in the beginning of the video. This is also a tool I bought very early on in my repair career. This is the Milwaukee non-brushless, non-fuel M18 grinder. This thing does come with a handle, and you can use this as a cutoff saw as well. Now it's a 4.5 inch, part number 2680-20. Again, same thing. I really don't need to upgrade it. It's worked really well for me, and it still works to this day. If I need to use it as a cutoff saw, I'll throw a 4.5 inch cutoff wheel on there. If I need to use it as a sander to sand or grind or sharpen lawnmower blades, that's kind of what this flappy disc is for. Again, same thing. I do not need to upgrade to the fuel brushless version. There's so many new versions in the 4.5 inch sander by Milwaukee M18 that it's tempting to buy, it's tempting to upgrade, but again, why buy something when your tool still works, until this thing breaks, then I will only, then only will I buy new. It's got an XC 8.0 battery in there, and I actually need to charge it, but it's the second biggest battery that I have from Milwaukee. Milwaukee M12 fuel hatchet. Bought this thing to use in my lawn care business, and it has done a lot of wonders. I mean, the only downside is the small oil tank, but you will get probably 100 to 150 cuts before you have to refuel, or not refuel, add more oil to the oil reservoir. Again, M12 batteries, this is not the M18 version. So you are going to get like a 6-inch bar, I believe, on here. And they do sell 8-inch bars and chain for this hatchet. I don't know if you can run the 8-inch bar. I believe you can. However, it does come standard with the 6-inch bar. Let me take this off real quick. Actually, I bought some extra chain. So here's what is needed for the extra chain for this M12 hatchet. And you can line up the model number to the model number here, used with 2527-20. That's exactly what this is. And it is a 6-inch bar. So yeah, that's kind of the replacement chain for it. But really nice saw, really good little limbing saw. When you need it, it's there. And I would definitely, again, recommend running a M12 6.0 battery, something with a little bit more juice, so that way you know it's always ready to go for you. So that's about it for the collection. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions at all about any of the tools here, please leave them in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed, and let me know what your favorite power tool is in the comments down below. If you do any automotive, mechanic, electrical work using Milwaukee power tools. Thank you again so much. Take care. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.